In the intricate and often opaque world of international relations, a clandestine war of information is constantly being waged. This covert struggle involves sophisticated intelligence gathering and counterintelligence measures. Governments dedicate significant resources to understanding the capabilities and intentions of their adversaries. Iran and Yemen are notable players in this shadowy domain. They are actively collecting intelligence from a multitude of sources. These sources include human intelligence, signals intelligence, and cyber operations, often targeting specific nations and their personnel. This relentless pursuit of information underscores the deep-seated mistrust and ongoing tensions that characterize the region, creating a complex web of espionage activities. The intelligence apparatus of both Iran and Yemen are focused on perceived threats. They seek to gather detailed information on military and intelligence operatives of certain Western and regional powers. This is not a haphazard collection of data. It is a systematic effort to build profiles and understand networks. The information sought is diverse, ranging from operational plans to personal details of key individuals. This intelligence hunt is driven by strategic objectives. These objectives include bolstering their own defensive capabilities and potentially enabling offensive actions. The scope of these activities highlights the seriousness with which these nations view their adversaries, fueling a cycle of suspicion and countermeasures. The methods employed in this intelligence war are multifaceted. Hackers, often state-sponsored or state-affiliated, play a crucial role in penetrating secure networks. They attempt to exfiltrate sensitive data. Spy agencies deploy operatives on the ground, risking compromise to gather first-hand information. Furthermore, alliances with other governments or non-state actors can provide access to shared intelligence, expanding their reach and capabilities. The technological aspect of this conflict is ever-evolving. New tools and techniques are constantly being developed and deployed. This creates a dynamic and challenging environment for all parties involved in this silent yet impactful confrontation that shapes geopolitical realities. The primary targets of these intensive intelligence operations are often nations perceived as hostile. American and Israeli military personnel are high on the list. This includes individuals involved in past or present conflicts in the Middle East. NATO country personnel who have participated in aerial campaigns are also of significant interest. The collection efforts aim to identify these individuals, track their movements, and understand their roles. This information is considered highly valuable for various strategic purposes. It could be used for propaganda, for deterrence, or for planning future actions. The systematic nature of this targeting indicates a long-term commitment to monitoring and engaging with these perceived adversaries on multiple fronts beyond conventional warfare. The intelligence gathering extends to specific categories of individuals deemed critical by Iranian and Yemeni agencies. Pilots who have flown fighter jets to conduct bombing missions in regions like Gaza, Lebanon, and other Muslim countries are a prime focus. The objective here is to compile comprehensive dossiers. These dossiers would include not just their professional history but also personal identifying information. This pursuit reflects a desire to hold individuals accountable for actions taken during military operations. It is a clear signal that these governments are meticulously tracking those involved in conflicts that have deeply affected their populations and allies. The level of detail sought suggests a long-term strategy of retribution or pressure. Another key group targeted includes agents from prominent Western intelligence agencies. Mossad and CIA operatives, particularly those believed to be involved in covert operations, are under intense scrutiny. For instance, individuals suspected of engineering or deploying explosive devices, such as the infamous exploding pagers, are actively sought. The intelligence efforts aim to uncover their identities, operational methods, and networks. This focus on intelligence agents highlights the direct confrontation between spy agencies. It is a dangerous game of cat and mouse. Each side attempts to outmaneuver the other, seeking to expose and neutralize threats. This aspect of the intelligence war is particularly fraught with risk and high stakes for all involved. Members of the Israeli government and the Israel Defense Forces are also consistent targets for intelligence collection. This is not limited to high-ranking officials or senior commanders. The scope appears to be broader, encompassing various levels within the Israeli establishment. The information gathered can range from policy discussions and military deployments to personal vulnerabilities. This comprehensive approach indicates an intent to understand the inner workings of the Israeli state. It aims to identify potential pressure points and gather intelligence that could be leveraged in various ways. The continuous monitoring of Israeli officials and military personnel underscores the enduring nature of this adversarial relationship and the depth of the intelligence contest. Sheikh Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah, has made bold public statements regarding this intelligence hunt. He has claimed to possess an extensive database. This database allegedly contains the names, addresses, and even phone numbers of every member of the Israeli military. To emphasize this claim, reports surfaced that his organization sent pager messages to these individuals. This act served as a psychological operation. It was designed to intimidate and demonstrate reach. Nasrallah's rhetoric often emphasizes a long-term commitment to pursuing those deemed responsible for war crimes. He has asserted that this pursuit would continue relentlessly, regardless of any future political settlements or changes in the regional map, signaling an unwavering stance on accountability. The assertion by Sheikh Nasrallah that the conflict would persist even if Israel were to be dismantled and replaced by a Palestinian state is particularly telling. He has stated that individuals who have committed what he terms war crimes will continue to be pursued and hunted down. This declaration underscores a deep-seated commitment to a long-term struggle. It transcends territorial disputes or immediate political goals. It points towards a vision of justice, however defined, that extends indefinitely into the future. Such statements galvanize supporters and signal to adversaries that the animosity is not fleeting. This perspective shapes the strategic planning and intelligence priorities of groups aligned with this ideology, ensuring a protracted engagement. Iran's support for the Houthi movement in Yemen is a significant aspect of this ongoing intelligence and military landscape, particularly since July 2023. Tehran has been accused of providing crucial intelligence and resupplying the Houthis. This support was initially facilitated by the vessel, later, that took over this role. That was observed moving into the Gulf of Aden around January 2024. This movement coincided with a noticeable surge in Houthi attacks on maritime targets. The vessel is reportedly equipped with sophisticated high-mounted radars. These radars possess a range of up to 100 kilometers, enhancing surveillance capabilities significantly for the Houthis in the region. They also utilize small boats for visual reporting to monitor shipping lanes more closely. This combination of electronic and human intelligence gathering proved effective. However, the vessel itself became a target. A major cyber attack reportedly struck in February 2024. This cyber offensive disrupted its operations significantly. By April 2024, the ship was forced to anchor off Bandar Abbas in Iran. Despite this setback to a key Iranian intelligence asset, Houthi attacks on shipping did not cease. This resilience suggests that Iran may have shifted its tactics, possibly employing smaller, less conspicuous vessels such as dhows or fishing boats, for intelligence collection and closer surveillance in the Red Sea. The direct involvement of Iranian personnel on the ground further solidifies Iran's influence. Reports indicate the presence of Iranian experts alongside Houthi commanders. Some of these Iranian advisors were allegedly killed in a U.S. airstrike around April 2025. This event highlights the embedded nature of Iranian support. It also underscores the risks involved for Iranian operatives directly assisting Houthi operations. The continued Houthi attacks on merchant shipping in the Red Sea, which began in late 2023, have persisted despite international efforts to counter them. The Houthis have explicitly declared British, US, and Israeli ships, along with vessels visiting Israeli ports, as legitimate targets, significantly impacting global trade routes. The sustained Houthi maritime campaign has had tangible consequences. Despite multinational efforts including the US-led Operation Prosperity Guardian and the EU's Operation Aspides, aimed at degrading Houthi missile stocks and launch sites, the attacks continue. Small boats are frequently reported in the vicinity just before these attacks occur. This observation points to a critical element of Houthi maritime intelligence. It suggests a reliance on close-in reconnaissance, potentially supported by Iranian assets. Whether they are larger mother ships like the, or a network of smaller disguised vessels. The disruption to global commerce has been substantial, with a dramatic drop in ships transiting the Suez Canal since the escalation of attacks. In response to the heightened threat environment and the Houthi challenge, Israel has significantly ramped up its own intelligence operations focused on Yemen. Since the outbreak of the war on October 7, 2023, Israeli intelligence agencies have intensified their efforts. Specialized units within Mossad and the IDF's Military Intelligence Directorate have been established or augmented. These units are dedicated to gathering comprehensive information on the Houthi regime, its capabilities, and its links with Iran. This intelligence push is supported by a wide array of assets. These include Israeli Navy missile ships and submarines patrolling key waterways, Air Force reconnaissance flights, and advanced Israeli surveillance satellites providing overhead imagery and signals intelligence. The United States has also been actively involved in military actions in Yemen. These actions are aimed at degrading Houthi capabilities and targeting key personnel. A notable U.S. airstrike, reportedly occurring around April 2025, resulted in the deaths of senior Houthi commanders. Crucially, Iranian experts who were advising these commanders were also among the casualties. This event underscores the direct confrontation between the U.S. and Iranian-backed forces in the Yemeni theater. It also highlights the ongoing American military commitment to addressing threats emanating from the region. Such strikes serve as both a tactical measure to disrupt operations and a strategic signal of U.S. resolve in the area. The intelligence gathering, military actions, and persistent rhetoric from all sides paint a picture of a protracted and deeply entrenched conflict. The stated aims of Iranian and Yemeni intelligence efforts, coupled with Sheikh Nasrallah's declarations, point towards a long-term strategy. This strategy focuses on holding specific individuals and nations accountable for perceived historical and ongoing injustices or war crimes. This is not merely a battle for territory or resources. It is a conflict deeply rooted in ideology and a desire for retribution. The covert war of espionage and targeted operations is likely to continue shaping international relations and regional stability for the foreseeable future, regardless of broader geopolitical shifts.